The Holdovers was something I had basically no expectations for. As a matter of fact, if I had any, they were pretty low. I remember seeing this trailer in the theater a few times before it came out and thinking it looked very corny and something I wouldn't get much out of, but going into it, I tried to give it a fair chance. I'm glad I did. I was really surprised with this. I think what originally got me hooked was the setting. The look and feel of this movie is extremely cozy. It takes place in the early 70s in this American prep academy during the school's winter break, and they absolutely were able to make the most out of that. As I was watching it, I felt like I had a blanket on my lap with some nice soup and coffee and Simon and Garfunkel playing in the background. Just a sense of pure coziness that I loved, which apparently, according to director Alexander Payne, was not his intentions at all, but it definitely felt like that had to be the tone he was going for. I don't see any way around that, but to be fair, in terms of the actual story, that's where it starts to go down a different path. The two leads, played by Paul Giamatti and Dominic Sessa, did a fantastic job, but they were both extremely cringe and completely insufferable pretty much throughout the whole film. They both make so many stupid little comments, trying to have a pissing contest with each other. They're both so awkward. However, after a while, I grew to love that about them. They both have this dorky persona of lonely men who don't need anyone or anything besides themselves, and that theme of loneliness is really the heart of the story. This movie didn't reinvent the wheel or anything when it comes to coming-of-age storytelling, but it did do a really great job of showing the parallels between these two men. And those types of stories, the ones that are small in scale and focus on the relationship between any two people, tend to be the ones I like the most. And I can only imagine how obsessed I would have been had I seen this when I myself was in high school. Back then, I could not get enough of the super angsty films about kids who are just generally lost in a really vague way. I think about the cult-like status that movies like The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Dead Poets Society, Lady Bird, etc. have all achieved, and I believe that is probably where this movie is destined to end up. I sincerely think this is an instant classic. By the time the movie ended, I didn't want to leave the theater. I wanted to follow these characters around and stay in this world even longer. And I think for many people, myself included, this will become a viewing staple every single year around the holidays.